Check, check. Can you hear me okay? We are live, man. How's everybody doing out there? It's RPU, and I'm back again with another video, man. We are live. And guys, the DFLR airdrop has been completed. You need to claim your Helion ASAP, man. They've given us a 30-minute window, a 30-day window. 30-day window, not 30 minutes, 30 days. You have 30 days to swap your DFLR for Helion. Otherwise, it will be burned. So, we're going to go ahead and talk about the latest news. We're going to try to claim this Helion right now. And we're going to talk about the new liquidity pools that have been launched within Enosys, man. Let's go ahead and jump right into it because I only got about an hour to talk about it. So let's go. One second. Okay, guys. If you're not already doing so, follow Enosys on Twitter at Enosys_global, formerly FLR Finance. Enosys pioneers research and development in blockchain technology from the creators of FlareScan and DeFi oracles. Enosys has over 106,000 followers on Twitter. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at RPUReloaded. I'm not up here for some reason. But if you follow me, you can get the latest updates and retweets of things that I think are interesting in the crypto space, alright? So, Enosys says, welcome to FLR Networks Helion, $HLN. Those that were eligible for the initial airdrop have now received their DFLR on their FLR network address. DFLR on FLR can be used to claim Helion at airdrop.enosys.global. I forgot to put this website in the description, but if you check the description right now, I also I left you guys the contract addresses for DFLR and Helion. You need to add both of those tokens to your Bifrost wallet. All right, and I'm gonna post this website in the chat so you guys can have it right now. Now, if you do not complete the claim process in the next 30 days, your DFLR will cease to exist and the unclaimed Helion will be burned. The next DFLR airdrop for XFi and Helion holders will be in 30 days using a new random snapshot. So guys, this DFLR airdrop right here, this was the initial DFLR airdrop, but there's going to be monthly airdrops. So if you're watching this right now and you missed the initial XFi snapshot and DFLR airdrop, there's going to be monthly airdrops. So you have a chance to, stack some XFi and stack some Helion, and you will be able to qualify for the next drop. There's going to be monthly drops, and I think this is going to be going on for a year because Thanasimos says no more win DFLR. DFLR, Helion now. Only 11 more airdrops to go for Helion and XFi holders. So there's going to be, monthly drops throughout the year, and this is going to create demand for XFi and Helion. So we may see the price of XFi and Helion go up. I already said that, but let's move on. International asked, what is the difference between lowercase DFLR and uppercase DFLR? Well, Flintstone posted this picture about DFlare, right? So 1 million DFlare, which was about 0.666% of the max supply, were distributed as beta tester rewards on the Songbird network, right? Those are the ones who got to participate, early on, when Enosys and Flare Finance was just getting started, and they got those like samurai NFTs and stuff. Those of them who got participated in the beta, they got the first 1 million DFlare, right? Meaning that 1 million Helion from the max supply will be available for claiming to the beta rewards holders on the Songbird network alongside the community airdrop. This claim will be facilitated through a separate snapshot and airdrop specifically for Songbird DFlare holders. This snapshot will only capture DFlare which is held in personal wallets, so please ensure that your DFlare is not being utilized in a contract, as that DFlare will be ineligible for the snapshot and airdrop. Once DFlare has been distributed on the Flare network and the 30-day claim window has initiated, DFlare on Songbird will have no further use. So, I was just talking yesterday, telling people that you could buy DFlare on Oracle Swap, and if you buy DFlare on Oracle Swap, you want to hold it in your wallet because there's going to be a separate snapshot for the DFlare on the Songbird network. And those who hold DFlare on Songbird will be able to claim that DFlare for Helion. But the DFlare that was just dropped to us, that is the DFlare on the Flare network, and I provided the contract addresses to that DFlare on the Flare network in the description of this video. So you can go ahead and add that, both DFlare and Helion, to your Bifrost wallet right now. So yeah, Flintstone dropped us the contract addresses, which I was just talking about, which I put it in the description of the video, man. Shout out to Flintstone. So this is the airdrop website, airdrop.enosys.global. Okay, shout out to Lemonade, man. The contract addresses are in the description of this live, so it may be easier for you to copy them from there, or you can go to Flintstone. You can go to Flintstone's Twitter and get it from there. Also, I can post the link to this tweet right here in the chat, so you can get it from there too. You can just click on the link right there in the chat, and it'll take you right to this tweet right here. So yeah, we got the contract addresses for both DFlare and Helion. Add both of those to your Bifrost wallet. So now I'm going to go to the airdrop page and claim the Helion. And I gotta add it to my wallet too while I'm talking. 1 second, guys. So let's see. 1 second. This one. Okay, so we're gonna add DFlare and Helion to the Bifrost wallet. We're just gonna copy these contract addresses. Come over here to the middle, select receive, add a custom token. We're gonna make sure when you add these tokens that you're adding it to the FLR network, not the Songbird network. So yeah, it's got FLR selected, and we just paste it in here. Continue. You see it says FLR network FLR name DAO FLR symbol DFLR decimals 18. Add the custom token, and it's been added. Now let's also add Helion. Go ahead and copy this contract address. Post that up in there. See FLR network FLR name Helion symbol HLN decimals 18. And we have successfully added both of these tokens to our wallet. And as you can see, the DFLR popped up right there on the FLR network. It says I got just under 2,000 DFLR. But this is the first initial drop right here, right? And we're gonna get monthly drops. So the more, I might continue to stack a little bit more XFi, a little bit more Helion, because there's going to be a snapshot and a drop every 30 days. So now that we've got our DFLR, let's go ahead and go to the airdrop page so we can swap it. Claim your Helion tokens. Helion tokens can be claimed for DFLR that has been airdropped to XFi holders. I gotta connect my wallet. So yeah, so we're gonna connect to the FLR network. Oh, shout out to John Morgan. So if you have, there's two different versions of DFLR. There's DFLR on the Songbird network, and there's DFLR on the FLR network, right? So the people that participated in the initial beta testing when Enosys was FLR financed, I think they had like a samurai NFT competition or something like that. Those beta testers were airdropped 1 million DFLR, right? And some of those people probably held on to their DFLR. Some of them sold it, And right now, I was telling people the other day that you could buy DFLR with Songbird on Oracle Swap, right? And so the DFLR that was just airdropped to us was the DFLR on the FLR network, right? Yeah, I'm currently staking my XFi in FLR and Enosys Farms. So if you were doing the same thing, your XFi should have got captured in the snapshot. So you should see your DFLR. You just got to add DFLR on the FLR network to your Bifrost wallet. And the contract addresses are in the description of this video. So there was 1 million DFLR that was airdropped to the beta testers on the Songbird network. The DFLR that was just airdropped to us right now is DFLR on the FLR network. This DFLR, they're giving you a 30-day window to claim your Helion, right? If you don't claim your Helion ASAP, then that Helion is going to be burned and lost forever. The total supply of Helion is 150 million tokens. But if people don't claim their DFLR, then the total supply is going to be smaller than that. But Flintstone said that, what did he say? He said that once the DFLR has been distributed on the FLR network and the 30-day claim window has been initiated, DFLR on Songbird will have no further use. But he said there was going to be a separate snapshot for the people that have DFLR on the Songbird network. So I don't think that snapshot and airdrop has happened yet, as far as I know. So I mean, if you want, you could still stack some DFLR on Songbird, and once the snapshot happens, you swap it for Helion and do your thing with it. You know, stake it in Flare Farms, provide liquidity and all that stuff. But yeah, there's gonna be two separate snapshots and airdrops. One for the D-Flare on Flare, and one for the D-Flare on Songbird. Um, so yeah, when they announced the when you can claim your Helion with your D-Flare on Songbird, I'll let you guys know. But for right now, this is for D-Flare on Flare. And at the time of the snapshot, I think it was for X. Majority of the D-Flare went to the XFi holders, and then there was some that was given to the Flare holders. And if you held both, then you probably got a little bit, a little bit from each bag. But yeah, let's go ahead and claim this D-Flare. Claim this Helion. Excuse me. So yeah, claim your Helion tokens. Helion can be claimed for D-Flare that has been airdropped to XFi holders. Claim. Here you can burn your D-Flare to claim Helion. Read more about the airdrop. So yeah, it says the next D-Flare airdrop will be in a month. Next airdrop amount is 2 million. I believe it's going to be 2 million D-Flare airdropped every month. So every month you have a chance to stack XFi and Helion for the next 11 months, to get your bag up to get more D-Flare, more Helion. The more Helion you have, the more abscess you're going to get when you stake it, and that's the goal. We want to try to get as much abscess as we can because there's only 15,000 abscess tokens, and they're currently going for like 250,000 right now. That's crazy. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and approve and claim. I'm gonna just approve this. 1 second. Transaction submitted. It says you have successfully approved your Helion tokens. So now we just gotta wait. Looks like it's doing its thing. I just see 3 dots moving at the bottom. It hasn't really changed yet, so. Yeah, man, we got 11 more months to stack up this XFi, and this is gonna create demand for XFi and Helion. Are have maybe try clearing your cache in your in your app. Maybe go to your app settings and clear your cache and then try it again. It hasn't claimed yet. I don't know. It hasn't like swapped it yet. Okay, it says my D-Flare balance is 0 now. So where is the Helion? I don't know if Bitrue was supporting the D-Flare airdrop or not. I believe this was only for non-custodial wallets. But Bitrue is going to list Helion on Bitrue. So, if you'll have a place to swap it for USDT if you want or something like that. don't know, man. It didn't swap for the Helion. I don't know why. Well, it's still there. One second. Okay, it says you have successfully claimed your Helion tokens. My balance, DFLR balance went to 0, and it says nothing to claim. So let's double check. There we go. You see it? You see the Helion? And I I scanned through the tokenomics. The Helion DFLR ratio is 1-to-1, I believe. Um, yeah. To go to the airdrop page, you need to go to airdrop.enosis.global, and I'll post that in the chat for you right now. And to add Helion and DFLR to your Bifrost wallet or Decent wallet, the contract addresses are in the description of this live. So yeah, man, I just claimed my Helion. You can see it right there in my wallet. No more DFLR, and we swapped the DFLR for Helion 1-to-1. So let's move on. Now Enosys says Helion Flare liquidity pools have been added to the Enosys DEX with the associated farm pool live on Enosys farms. Swaps will be disabled for a time to allow for initial liquidity to be added. Helion in this liquidity pool is eligible for monthly DFLR Helion airdrops with a 2x multiplier. That's dope. And Flare in this liquidity pool will continue to receive FTSO delegation and Flare drop rewards. That's crazy. So now in this new pool, right? You're providing liquidity. You still get your monthly DFLR airdrop, so you can swap that for Helion. You still get your weekly FTSO delegation rewards and your monthly Flare drops, and you can take those liquidity pool tokens, and then stake those in the farms, to continue to earn more abscess. So like, damn, you got your Flare tokens working 4 or 5 different ways now, and so that's crazy. And it says you get a 2x multiplier when it comes to the DFLR monthly airdrop. So that's dope, man. More DFLR, more Helion, man. 2x your bags. So you can swap fees, Helion airdrops, delegation rewards, flare drops, and abscess farming incentives all in one place. That's crazy. Yeah, man. It says Flare Helion liquidity pool. Flare in this liquidity pool is eligible for delegation rewards and monthly flare drops. Helion in this liquidity pool has a 2x multiplier on Helion airdrops. The new Flare Helion liquidity pool farm is dishing out 0.10 abscess per day in rewards. That's crazy. So yeah, man, this is gonna create more demand for Flare, more demand for XFi, and more demand for Helion. I gotta buy more of all of that. Yeah, my buy list just keep getting longer and longer. But yeah, man, that's pretty dope. And make sure when you do all this, you're connected to the Flare network and not the Songbird network. Yeah, man. You want to pull your crypto off the exchanges as soon as possible, man. Shout out to Dan. If you don't already have a cold storage wallet, link in the description for a decent biometric hardware wallet. Use my link and get 30% off, man. But if you can't do that right now, you can always download the Bifrost wallet for free. And then when when you can come holla at me, use my link, man. Support your boy. But yeah, JB, he asked, is there any info posted about what XFi holders can expect as approximate percentages of Helion dropped over the next 11 months or the next 11 drops? Asking for a friend. And Thanasimos left this link right here for the updated Enosys tokenomics. We can go over the Helion section if you want real quick because I gotta go back to work. But yeah, this is the Medium article for the tokenomics of Enosys Global. I can also post this in the chat for you guys so you can have it as well if you want to go over it. So yeah, this is the introduction. The design of a healthy cryptocurrency ecosystem consists of multiple vectors, one of which is the macroeconomic design of its native tokens, aka the tokenomics. As the traditional theory of economics and fiat currency regulations do not apply to cryptocurrencies, the dynamics of these systems are typically designed in an ad hoc fashion, potentially leading to unstable situations and damaging the system as a whole. Enosys' overarching goal is to mitigate potential risks stemming from this arbitrary design of tokenomics. To that end, the design philosophy of Enosys tokenomics is articulated into the following subgoals, which constitute the backbone of the distribution of tokens presented below. 1. Decentralization. Enosys aims to deliver a truly decentralized ecosystem, and as such, the vast majority of its native tokens are distributed to the community. In fact, Enosys distributes to community-oriented purposes 70% and 85% of the two governance tokens, Helion and Apsis, respectively. So yeah, man, truly decentralized protocol right here. Most of the tokens will be going to the community. 2. Sustainability. Enosys' objective is to deliver an ecosystem that is viable in the long term, thus calling attention to two vital design principles. First, some of the funds of Enosys should be allocated to bootstrap and maintain the cash flow, i.e. operational costs, and to investors. Second, fail-safe fail-safe mechanisms against potential financial spirals are necessary in cryptocurrency ecosystems that tend to be volatile. The first principle is easily met by allocating a small but critical percentage to the Gnosis investors and to expected operational costs. The former was subject to financial negotiations, while the latter was determined through cost projection based on Gnosis' previous financial needs to maintain and promote the ecosystem. The second principle, on the other hand, is trickier and demands an elaborate design of fail-safe mechanisms to ensure the viability of the ecosystem. This task is implemented with the APY cloud of Enosys. Man, we got the APY cloud coming too, man. And that's why we want to accumulate that Apsis too. Because on the Songbird network, we'll be earning passive income from the APY cloud in Songbird. That's for the SFIN and XFi holders. And then on the Flare network, those who hold Apsis and Helion will also be able to earn passive income from the APY cloud. So it's like we're going to have multiple streams of passive income across different chains with Enosys Global, man. That's crazy. So yeah, this task is implemented with the APY cloud of Enosys. That is, in a nutshell, a macroeconomic mechanism to maintain a healthy ecosystem via rewarding active governance users. Shout out to the SFIN and XFi holders, man. Shout out to the Helion and Apsis holders. As this component is critical for the longevity of Enosys and simultaneously rewards users contributing to decentralization, a significant amount of tokens is reserved for this purpose. And then we have agility, 4, reciprocity, and yeah, man, I gotta just you can read all that yourself, but we're just gonna go over the tokenomics of Helion real quick, and then I gotta go back to work. So Helion, HLN, is the ecosystem's secondary governance token. It has a variety of use cases, but mainly serves as secondary governance under Apsis. Its use cases include, but are not limited to, replacing exchange fees on the Enosys DEX, secondary governance under ABSs, voting on new token listings on the Enosys DEX, voting on new trading pairs on the Enosys DEX, staking it on Enosys Farm, participating in liquidity pools on Enosys DEX, participating in launch pads on Enosys Farm, replacing fees on the Enosys Bridge, providing it as collateral for loans on Enosys Loans, providing it as coverage on Enosys Mutual, and using it in order to trade NFTs on Enosys Gallery. So Helion and its available use cases will continue to expand as more products begin to build on the FLR network. So yeah, more is coming for Helion and most likely XFi and all of that, man. You know, whatever happens on the Songbird network will happen on the FLR network. That's how it goes. It goes from Costin to Songbird to FLR. So yeah, and as us, you know, users of Enosys on the Songbird network, we'll be able to experience everything first. We'll be able to test it out first. So yeah, that's dope. So Helion will maintain a max supply of 150 million tokens and by default does not have the capabilities to mint further tokens. So there will be no more than 150 million Helion tokens. These token distributions will be detailed in the token supply schedule below. So here's the token supply schedule. 70% of the Helion tokens will be distributed to the community, while the rest will be equally distributed to investors, 15%, and the other 15% will go to operational costs. In particular, 20% of the max supply will be airdropped, whereas 31.93% will be reserved in the APY cloud for future distribution. That's why you want to get that ABSs. And 0.4% will be awarded to XFi loan stability pool stakers. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to look more into that. 0.67% will be reserved for DFLR earned during beta testing. Those are the ones, you know, with the DFLR on Songbird. And 17% will be used at the discretion of the community for various purposes, as illustrated in the table below. A detailed exposition of the distribution can be found below. So yeah, here's how the Helion is going to be dished out, you know, over the next couple of months and how it's going to be used. So, community airdrop. The production network token DAO DFLR will be distributed based on the Helion airdrop algorithm outlined in the following section. DFLR allows holders to participate in the initial DAO offering for Helion. The initial DAO offering is a period where holders of the valueless DAO claim token DFLR can claim Helion one-to-one. See that? One-to-one. The max supply of Helion tokens will be 150 million tokens with a precision of 18. I'm thinking that's, 18 decimal point places, I think that is. But anyway, once distributed, DFLR on the FLR network will utilize a unique token design, which will enforce a 30-day window. So you need to claim it. You have 30 days to claim your initial DAO offering, in which DFLR can be burned to claim Helion. At the expiration of 30 days, any remaining DFLR will automatically be removed, and the claiming contract of that month will be locked, effectively burning any unclaimed Helion. This means the total circulating supply of Helion will vary based on the number of participants who claim the free initial DAO offering. So shout out to Lemonade, man. So were you able to claim the Helion now? Let me know. So yeah, this is the Helion airdrop algorithm. The objective of the airdrop algorithm is multifaceted. The first goals are to reward previous contributions and foster future engagement with the Enosys ecosystem. Concurrently, the airdrop aims to provide incentives for high system utilization by bestowing rewards on users who generate revenue for the Enosys ecosystem. thereby enhancing the overall functionality and robustness of the ecosystem. To realize these objectives, we outline below the specific algorithm implemented for the Enosys Helion airdrop. So yeah, man, you're incentivized to participate in this ecosystem. The more you put into it, the more you're gonna get out of it. So the initial airdrop, which just happened, the fundamental concept involves capturing a snapshot of XFi token holders and their utilization patterns, which will subsequently be used for the first distribution of tokens. Specifically, during the initial airdrop, 26.67% of the community airdrop tokens, equating to 8 million Helion, will be distributed as DFLR. All of these 8 million tokens will be immediately spendable. The precise initial airdrop quantity allocated to each XFi holder will be calculated using the following static multipliers, measured by the number of tokens in the corresponding Enosys protocols as captured by the snapshots. So if you held XFi in your personal wallet, you would get one DFLR. I believe that is. Yeah, and if you had your XFi staking in Enosys Farms or governance, or you had it in loans, then you got 1.25x, you know, for whatever, for your XFi. You got 1.25x DFLR for your XFi if you had it staking in Flare Farms, or if you had it in governance or loan staking. Now, if you used your XFi in loans as collateral, then you got 1.5x DFLR for your XFi. I haven't used XFi loans, but I would like to in the future. Once the prices go up. And then if you had XFi in Enosys liquidity pools, then you got 2 times the DFLR for your XFi due to it being paired with equal value. Now, the objective of the initial airdrop is to acknowledge the users who have participated in the Enosys ecosystem so far and to give an advantage to those who have been actively participating. This is done with the aim of enhancing the trust already vested in the Enosys platform. Man, shout out to all the people who have been on this journey with me, all my ninjas and samurais who have been staking in Flare Farms. Man, we going on 87 weeks staking in Flare Farms, man. Going on week 88, man. Let's go. So these are the monthly airdrops. The remaining 73.3% of tokens, which corresponds to 20 million Helion tokens up for grabs, will be distributed as DFLR based on different metrics. The aim is to disperse an equal quantity of 2 million tokens each month from the remaining allocation, thus completing the distribution of the total 30 million Helion tokens over a 12-month period. So yeah, man, we got 11 months to stack XFi and Helion to get more DFLR, man. Get that, stack that Helion, stack that XFi, get that Helion, put it in the liquidity pool. Let's get this Apsis, man. Shout out to Full of XRP, man. We eating tonight, man. Let's get this money. Yeah, let's go. Ain't nothing like free money, man. I keep telling you. Now, these airdrops have 3 primary objectives. 1, to stimulate active engagement of Helion holders in the Enosys platform. 2, continue to stimulate active engagement of XFi holders on the Songbird network. And 3, to promote and reward users who generate revenue for the Enosys ecosystem, thereby actively contributing to the APY cloud, which ensures the financial stability and vitality of the ecosystem. To meet these goals, monthly airdrops will be distributed as follows. So quarter 1, 75%, 1.5 million DFLR distributed based on a randomly selected Helion snapshot. So now we got to stack Helion. We got to get this Helion, man. So the first quarter snapshot will be based on Helion within the month, weighted using the following static multipliers. So if you hold Helion in your personal wallet, you will get one times the DFLR for the Helion that you hold in your wallet. If you use your Helion in staking, whether that's Enosys Farms, pools, governance or loan staking, then you will get 1.25 times the DFLR for the Helion that you are staking within the farms. If you use your Helion in loans as collateral, then you will get 1.5 times the DFLR for your Helions in loans. And if you use your Helion in the liquidity pools providing liquidity, then you will get 2 times the amount of DFLR for your Helion that you use to provide liquidity with, due to being paired with equal value. So yeah, man, it incentivizes you to provide liquidity. So yeah, man, let's do it. Then another 25%, 0.5 million DFLR will be distributed based on a randomly selected XFi snapshot. Oh, so now they're not leaving out the XFi holders, so that's cool, man. So if you hold XFi, you will still be able to qualify for these loans. So if you hold Helion and XFi, then you're getting double the DFLR. That's crazy. Let's go. So yeah, man. 25%, 0.5 million DFLR distributed based on a randomly selected XFi snapshot within the month, weighted using the following static multipliers. So yeah, one times the amount of DFLR for the XFi held in your wallets, 1.25 times the DFLR for the XFi you have in staking, 1.5 times the DFLR for the XFi that you have in loans as collateral, and 2 times the amount of DFLR for the XFi that you have in liquidity pools providing liquidity due to being paired with equal value. So yeah, man, it's opportunity out here, man. It's opportunity, nothing but opportunity, man, for the next 11 months. Now, during the first quarter following the initial airdrop, the Enosys team will be monitoring the platform expansion and analyzing fee-based revenue generation. Once the full platform is brought online and platform usage has exited the initiation phase, a portion of the monthly airdrop will be allocated based on user fee generation during the preceding month. The first allocation to fees will encompass fees from platform launch through that snapshot date. The amount of DFLR allocated to fee generation will be capped at 50% of the value of total fees generated, not to exceed 25% of the total monthly airdrop. The remainder of the airdrop will continue to be split 75-25 between Helion and XFi holders. That's dope, man. That's dope. So yeah, that's quarter one. Then we have quarters 2 through 4, up to 25%, which is less than, it could be, no greater than 0.5 million DFLR, will be distributed to users who generated fees for the Enosys ecosystem during the month via Bridge, DEX, Gallery, Simple Stake, and loans, weighted based on the USD value of generated fees. So yeah, the more you use the platform, the more fees that you pay, the more, you're going to get more of this 25% of this distribution. And those fees will go to the APY cloud. So, you're helping build the platform up, which is great. And I can't wait for that APY cloud, man, because we're going to be earning passive income. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait for the price of SFIN to go back up so I can use it as collateral in the loans, all that stuff. Now, after the amount of DFLR to be distributed based on fees has been calculated, the remainder of the monthly 2 million DFLR will be split 75-25 between Helion and XFi snapshots. So yeah, man, both Helion holders and XFi holders will be able to, get some of this DFLR. 75% of the remainder 2 million a generated fee share distributed based on a randomly selected Helion snapshot within the month, weighted using the following statistic multipliers. So yeah, we already know, I went over this like twice already. You can to maximize the amount of DFLR that you can get, the best thing you could do is provide liquidity. But I mean, you could do all of these different things, You can stack more Helion, you can provide liquidity, you can stake it in farms, you can hold some in your wallet, and you'll get some DFLR based on all of this. It's up to you basically. At the end of the day, you got to strategize on how you want to play it. But I'm planning to provide some liquidity with my flare, That way, you know, I'm providing liquidity. I'm getting the liquidity pool tokens. I can stake the liquidity pool tokens in Flare Farms. I'm still getting my weekly FTSO delegation rewards, and I'm getting my monthly Flare drops. That's crazy. Now, yeah, so we've already went over this also. So yeah, Helion holders and XFi holders are going to be eating all year, man. Let's go. So we anticipate that this airdrop algorithm will ensure suitable incentives and foster sound financial practices among Enosys token holders, promoting the ecosystem's overall long-term utilization and health. By limiting our supply and rewarding the high utilization of the Enosys platform, the Helion token is projected to operate as a valuable utility token, contributing to the ecosystem's health. Wow, man, that's dope, man. Shout out to the Helion holders. Welcome, Helion, to the Flare network, man. We are officially multi-chain out here, man. Let's go. And the last thing I want to remind you guys about before I get up out of here is that Helion will be listed on Bitrue. Shout out to Bitrue, man. Enosys says Bitrue has always been a friend to Enosys and the Flare Networks community. We are happy to work with @Bitrue Official for the first official listing of Helion. That's dope. Bitrue says new list in Helion coming soon to Bitrue. Spot trading @Enosys Global. Bitrue will be the first exchange to list Helion. Trading starts soon. Stay tuned for more exclusive events. So yeah, man, we have officially gone multi-chain. We got a official centralized exchange listing for Helion. We got monthly airdrops coming in. This is crazy, man. And like, there's just so much opportunity with this platform, man. I want to hear from you guys how you guys plan to strategize and utilize the platform. But yeah, man, that's all I wanted to show you guys, man. I got to get ready to go back to work. You got 30 days to claim your Helion, or those DFLR tokens will be burned and locked up forever. So do it now, man. Contract addresses are in the description of this video. Claim your Helion at airdrop.enosys.global. And let's get this money, man. This is RPU, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.